The final speaker for the evening is Major Jayarathne. Major Dhammika holds a postgraduate in Diploma and World Affairs from Bandaranaike International Diplomatic Training Institute, Colombo, and currently is a final year MBA student at Kotalawala Defense University. He serves for United Nations Military Observers at Institute of Peace Support Training, Sri Lanka. He will be talking to us on lessons for Sri Lanka from Rwanda Experience. Over to you, Dhammika.
Thank you very much, sir. Respected Chair, distinguished invitees, senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My topic is the lesson for Sri Lanka from the Rwandan experience. The scope of my study as shown on the screen. Rwanda, Republic of Rwanda is a small landlocked country in the East Central Africa. It is trying to recover from the ethnic strife that culminated in the government-sponsored genocide in the mid-1990s. Population, it is 11.2 million, area 26,338 kilometers, and there are 3 official languages, English and French plus another local language, and life expectancy is the 54 for the men and the 57 for the women. President is Mr. Paul Kagame. He is governing the country since 1994. The ethnic conflict in Sri Lanka has many root causes and consequences are closely interrelated. It seems clear that the comparison on Rwanda, Sri Lanka's position after the war appears to be quite strong. But both countries face pressure from the international community and accountability mechanism in the post-conflict era. It is important to study how other countries, such as Rwanda, overcome the problems after the conflict. It could be taken as a lesson to Sri Lanka to find out solution for Sri Lanka's present-day situation. With that, objective of my study is to study Rwanda's experience in post-conflict and derive lesson for Sri Lanka. Methodology of my study is as shown on the screen. It is I have followed the literature and the survey as well as the interview. In literature, so data has been gathered from the RCSS as well as Kotalawala Defense University Library and the journals and the publications which are available in the net and the available sources. I have done an interview with the Honorary Council of Rwanda in Sri Lanka. He has been in Rwanda for more than 30 years. Presently also he is serving there, and as well as he is present in the country in Sri Lanka. Study is carried out with the population of the Rwandan scholars in the Kotalawala Defense University as well as the staff college students who were there at that time. A questionnaire was prepared with the close-ended questions. Questions were formulated and the data was collected from the literature study. It has been distributed among the students and get the final data. Data was analyzed with the help of said questionnaire. All the answers of each questions on value base of yes or no, and answers have been rated as follows. In this research area, which were considered as high, have been taken into consideration as strongly agree, and the medium is considered taken as low, considered are weakly agree. In the first table, the constitutional and the legal recognition for local democracy. It has been proved that the 85% are strongly agree for constitutional and the legal recognition for the local democracy. In the political freedom and to elect representative, 57 were agreed and the others were not, others were only accepted. And citizen participation in the local decision making. It is 72 respondents were strongly agree, while 14 each satisfied and accepted. Table 4, the open local government accountability. It's 50% are satisfied with the accountability mechanism which is there in the Rwanda, and 43 strongly believed in accountability. A key factor for the good governance has been addressed by the Rwanda is the accountability after the genocide. Scrutiny of the executive, it is actually 58 of students had an idea of the, this matter, as well as others have no doubt on it. With regard to the above principle, the work of the executive should subject to scrutiny. Open local government and the transparency, the data prescribe that the 75% responded are believed in the transparency, and whereas the capacity building and the effective leadership, only 86 have agreed that is the capacity building for effective leadership is the main character on this study or for the good governance. As a whole, final observation from the Rwanda's experience, which I have gathered, it is you can see constitutional and the legal recognition for the local democracy, as well as the capacity building for the effective leadership is the priorities of and the if you take in the position wise what we should address for the good governance. From the interview itself, the constitutional, the enabling environmental for constitutional and the legal recognition for the local democracy, what the Mr. Kelly Ellis, the Honorary Council said was the chain of command is always observed and the local and the national government is carried out in a very professional way. Every officer and minister is academically qualified persons. Promotions and the appointment are made purely on the qualification. Even the president himself followed a degree program to be set as an example as a career politician. And the political freedom to the elect local representatives, the political freedom exists in all local government where such that the citizens can freely express their will through the political process. The council elected representatives and they will practice the will of the local citizens. Participation and the openness, that means the citizens' participation in the local decision making. Mechanism and the channels in place to enable citizen participation in the local decision making. People participation is right down to the grassroots level. Open local government accountability and the transparency, there's a robust and the independent regulatory body in place to safeguard against corruption, mismanagement, and inappropriate use of resources by the local government. At the discussion, the policy recommendations, one of the objectives of the Rwanda's governance is to identify areas for improvements and make policy recommendations. Whereas the major policy recommendations areas identifies as to rehabilitate in terms of rule of law. Political rights and the civil liabilities, liberties. Mechanism and the strategies geared towards the empowering non-state actors